Good day, learners! Today we are going to have some fun in our online classes and discuss about module number 5. Alright, our lesson number 5 is about mental health and coping with stress in adolescence. At the end of the lesson, you guys must be able to first discuss an understanding of teenage relationships, including the acceptable and unacceptable expressions of attraction. Second is to express your ways of showing attraction, love, and commitment. Last but definitely not the least is to identify ways to become responsible in a relationship. Guys, let me ask you something. When you heard the word mental health, what is the first word that comes to mind? Yes, aside from that, there are also these words. First is psychological. Now, when we say psychological, we are pertaining to the way we think and behave when we interact with other people. The next one is emotional. When we say emotional, it is already affecting our mental health due to our emotional states. So in short, whatever you feel or however you feel as an emotional people, it will affect your mental health. The next one is social well-being. Now what we are talking about here is the social interaction. Now did you guys know that being socially isolated affects or it triggers mental illnesses to people? Aside from that, when we say mental health, it says that it affects how we think, feel, and act as we cope with life. Mental health also determines how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. At these trying times, mental health is also one of the priorities of the health workers all over the world. So what does the World Health Organization or the WHO says about mental health? So they said that mental health is a state of well-being where an individual realizes their own potential, copes with stress, works productively, and is able to contribute to their community. So when we say mental health, hindi lang pala siya about sa pagbe-behave natin or sa pagiging emotional natin bilang tao. So sabi ng WHO, yung mental health din daw natin, it also refers to our productivity. So in short, when we are doing something, for example, in your school works, we are also using our mental health because when you are being productive or when you are being studious or when you are doing certain things and it requires you a certain knowledge, you are already using your mental health. Right now, we are going to move forward to the concepts of mental health according to WHO or the World Health Organization. First one is the subjective well-being. Second, perceived self-efficacy. Third, autonomy. Fourth, competence. Fifth, intergenerational dependence. And sixth, and definitely not the least, is self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential. The first concept to mental health according to WHO is the subjective well-being. When we say subjective well-being, it refers to one's subjective thoughts and feelings about one's overall state of mind. So guys, ang ibig natin sabihin dito is ito yung sarili nating pag-iisip or sarili nating perception about things. Now, according to WHO, good mental health is tied with self-concept. So what do we mean by self-concept? When we say self-concept, it is your conception about yourself or how do you see yourself as an individual. Now, we have two types of self-concept. The first one is positive self-concept. So when we say positive self-concept, it shows confidence and can maintain healthy relationships. So in short guys, pag positive daw yung self-concept natin or yung tingin natin sa sarili natin, meron tayong confidence. So ano bang mangyayari kapag meron tayong confidence? Mas magkakaroon tayo ng social interaction or better social interaction with people. So when we have that, we will have a lot of friends. Diba? And when we have a lot of friends, we will have the opportunity to express ourselves to them or to share what we are currently thinking or what our problem is to them. So in short, yung problema guys is hindi natin sosolohin. Diba? Kasi pwede tayong mag-share sa ating friends or sa network na meron tayo. So they said that having positive self-concept can also maintain healthy relationship. So in short, you don't have toxic relationships with your friends or with your peers. Why? Because you have a positive self-concept, and pag maganda ang confidence level mo and kapag maganda ang tingin mo sa sarili mo, madadamay rin yung perspective mo sa ibang tao or yung pakikisama mo sa ibang tao. So what do we mean by that? We are not dragging other people down, okay? We are trying to help them and be as positive as we can. So ayun guys, hindi siya about toxic positivity. So ano ba yung toxic positivity, ma'am? For example, you are very idealistic in life. So in short, lahat ng bagay for you is positive. Halimbawa, merong nag-share sa'yo na ibang tao and yung problem niya is talagang mabigat, and what you will tell them is it's okay, di ba, makaka-move on ka rin in life. Parang lagi mong sinasabi sa kanila na look at the bright side. So ayun, minsan guys, it is also being toxic daw. So bakit daw siya nagiging toxic? Kasi it doesn't help the people. So in short, minsan nai-spoil lang yung wrongdoings niya. Diba guys? So in short, kapag masyado ka daw positive, ayun, meron din siyang negative effect sa mental health ng ibang tao na nakakasalamuhan natin. Now aside from that, meron tayong kabaliktaran ng positive self-concept, which is the negative self-concept. So ito naman guys, when we say negative self-concept, ang best example for this is yung insecurity or yung jealousy natin sa sarili natin. So in short, when you are insecure about yourself, you don't have the confidence. And when you don't have the confidence, anong nangyayari? We are trying to isolate ourselves from the others because we are afraid that they might judge us, right? So what will happen is we will have lesser friends or lesser network, and we will not be able to express ourselves to them, or we will not be able to reach out to those people. And this jealousy or this insecurity might also drive the people away. So when we drive them away, we are going to be socially isolated, or also we might end up alone. So when we are alone, what will happen to our mental health, diba? Sasarilihin natin lahat ng problema, at kapag nangyari yun guys, merong tendency na magkaroon tayo ng emotional breakdown. Okay, so what will happen ma'am kapag nagkaroon tayo ng emotional breakdown? Yun yung part guys kung saan bumibigay yung mental health natin, sumasabog, or ang matitrigger dito guys is yung mental illness, or in short, when you get lonely or when the emotion is really high at hindi na siya kayang i-handle ng mental health mo, ang mangyayari sa iyo is you might develop a certain kind of mental illness which is called the anxiety, or if mas malala, pwede kang magkaroon ng depression. So aside from that guys, pwede ka rin makadevelop ng iba't ibang mental illnesses like eating disorder. So why eating disorder ma'am? Kasi kapag 'di ba, depressed ka or when you are anxious about something, ang unang tinatakbuhan natin is the comfort food. So in short, we are being dependent to this food because it gives us comfort or it makes us feel okay. Right? So aside from that, pwede rin i-cut off natin yung food sa life natin because we are being very affected of the situation or of the problem. Now, aside from eating disorder, guys, another mental illness that we might develop is the sleep disorders. So those are the disorders like insomnia or the lack of sleep, or minsan hypersomnia or yung too much sleeping. So dun sa may mga part na yun, for example yung insomnia guys, kaya tayo nakaka-develop nun is because the anxiety is too much or you are worrying too much. Ayun, so when we do that, it affects our circadian rhythm, or in short, mas naaapektuhan yung pagsisleep natin or yung body clock na tinatawag natin, sleep schedule. Okay, so aside from those, there are also a lot of mental illnesses that we might be prone kapag nadali tayo ng mental illnesses. Second is perceived self-efficacy. This refers to one's value and worth, effectiveness, and ability in performing a task or activity. Now, when we say perceived self-efficacy, it refers to our effectiveness in terms of working or in terms of doing something such as task or activity. It is also anchored on one's self-worth and value or self-esteem. Now, when we say self-worth or self-esteem, it refers to the overall sense of self-worth or personal value. In other words, this refers to how much you appreciate and like yourself as a human being. So that means, guys, that you will be effective when you know your worth, or when you know your self-worth, or how much you see yourself, or how much you appreciate yourself as a human being in terms of appraisal of your own appearance, beliefs, emotions, and behavior. Next one is autonomy. Now, autonomy refers to one's capacity to separate one's identity from other significant person. So, in short guys, pag sinabi nating autonomy, this is the part where you know that you are a different entity from your parent or from someone that you are being attached with. So, for example guys, you are very attached to your mother to the point that all your decisions in life are based on what she will tell you. So in short, when you already have autonomy, or when you already gained the independence or the decision to be yourself or to decide for yourself, you will now have or gain the autonomy. This concept is competence. This one refers to one's capacity to effectively perform a function using knowledge or skills and achieve the result in the designated time. Now, learners, it is also said that competence is related to self-esteem and self-identity. Now, when we say self-identity, it is about your self-worth or your personal value. Also, did you guys know that responsibility is a major underlying factor for competence? It is said that an individual who is competent will always assume full responsibility for the actions and results of his behavior. So in short guys, para daw masabi mo that you have the capacity to be competent, kailangan daw is alam natin yung consequences ng mga pwedeng mangyari sa actions na gagawin natin. In short, we are already taking responsibility kahit wala pang consequence yung behavior na ginawa natin after a certain situation. Aside from that, competence is said to be gained through time. A competent individual produces trust to those people he or she deals with. Kapag competent ka daw, you trust the people or the people surrounding you, or those people who are involved in a specific situation that you are currently in. So for example, they are the ones you are competing with, or they are your co-workers, or your classmates, or your friends. Ganon guys. Also, a competent person will adapt to changes that can happen while he or she is in the thick things. They know how to understand why such things changes. So in short, kapag competent ka daw guys, parang alam mo na sa sarili mo that there will always be change, or that change is constant. In short, you are open for changes even if it talks about changing your ways or how you do things. Kasi daw, a competent person can adjust his actions and attitude according to the new demands of the things that is needed to be changed. In short, kapag competent ka daw na tao guys, is kayang-kaya mo daw baguhin yung actions mo or yung ways na nakasanayan mo na. Now, we are going to move forward to the next concept, which is the intergenerational dependence. This refers to the relationship who belong to different generation but may be living separately as independents. So, the best example for this guys is those grandchildren visiting their grandparents. So guys, diba this is very common among Filipinos, yung relationship natin between parents and their grown-up children. Kasi diba tayong mga Filipino is naturally family man and family woman tayo. In short, laki tayo sa pamilya natin at very close tayo sa family natin. Kaya kahit meron na tayong sarili nating pamilya or nakabuo na tayo ng primary family natin, is very attached pa rin tayo sa mga parents natin. Kaya ang nangyayari sa mga anak na nagkakaroon yung parents natin, for example, tayo, very attached tayo sa mga grandparents natin. So, bakit? Kasi kadalasan is binibisita pa rin natin sila even if we are living in a different house than them. Kasi 'di ba, when children grows up, they are already looking for their own family. Or in short, when they grow up, they are already trying to build their own nest. Diba? So, ang mangyayari guys is yung anak ay maghahanap ng sarili niyang pamilya at syempre, titira siya sa sarili niyang bahay. So, ang mangyayari is medyo mapapalayo siya sa parents niya. Pero since tayong mga Filipino meron tayong practices na very close tayo sa family natin, ang gagawin natin is binibisita natin yung grandparents natin during the weekends or during special occasions. Well, While of course, there will always be cultural differences, or there are different variations of how the family members of society practices intergenerational independence. So, di ba, kung tayong mga Pinoy, ganun yung practices na ginagawa natin, paano naman yung mga foreign country? For example, yung USA. So, in the USA, they are sending old parents to the retirement homes, which is still practiced up to this day. So, in short, yan guys, yung dinadala nila yung mga parents nila or yung old parents or grandparents nila sa mga home for the aged. Today's technology has helped intergenerational independence thrive as it closes the gap of time and space so that even physically separated family members can still be in touch easily. Diba guys, since nandito na tayo ngayon sa modern times, ang form of communication na natin ngayon is always via internet or gumagamit na tayo ng mga gadgets. So in short, advantage daw yun ng generation today. Kasi kahit hindi tayo magkakasama or magkakalayo tayo physically, we can still communicate with each other, and yung gap na nabibuild dahil sa distance is nakakapag-compensate tayo since pwede naman tayong gumamit ng mga social media forms like Facebook. Alright, let's now move forward to the last but not the least concept of mental health. This is the self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential. This refers to fulfilling one's perceived potentials, becoming the person that one has always aspired for. This means that once a person fulfills his or her physiological needs, security and safety needs, emotional and social needs, and the self-esteem needs, the next need to be fulfilled is the self-actualization needs. The fulfillment of these needs does not have to be in sequence or progression. One person's need for love may be stronger than the need for security. Alright, let us now start with the characteristics of self-actualized individuals. First one is acceptance of their reality and have compassion to help. Second, spontaneous with their thoughts and behavior. Third, open to change. Fourth, strong need of privacy and solitude as they continue to fulfill potential. Fifth, highly appreciative of events and people to maintain their admiration of the things around them. Now, let me show you guys a little bit of recap about the hierarchy of needs of Abraham Maslow. As you can see in the picture of the hierarchy of needs of Abraham Maslow, at the bottom of the pyramid is our physiological needs, or our basic needs. It is composed of water, food, sleep, sex, and breathing. So these are the basic needs that you need to fulfill in order to survive. The next one is the safety needs, or the security needs. This is composed of security resources, employment, family, and health. The next one is the love or belonging needs, or also known as love needs. This is composed of friendship, love, intimacy, and affection. The next needs is esteem needs, or the self needs. This refers to your independence, self-respect, confidence, and achievement. Now, at the top of the pyramid is called the self-satisfaction, or the self-actualization needs. This one is composed of morality, problem-solving, acceptance of facts, and creativity. According to Maslow, morality is above all. So, in order to assume, or in order to be at the top of the pyramid, or to claim yourself to be a self-actualized person, you need to have morality. Okay, learners, I am now going to give you the two important skills to develop during adolescence. The first one is resiliency. It is the capacity to establish and maintain one's balance and well-being in the face of adversity. The second one is adaptability. On the other hand, it is the capacity to adjust to changes necessary for one's survival and balance. Learners, it is important to maintain mental health, which requires the resiliency and adaptability. Aside from that, we also have positive regard. It refers to looking at oneself as someone who is worth loving and worth caring for, regardless of the physical flaws or what other people perceive him to be. It is also about understanding and accepting one's personality, uniqueness, and individuality. Did you know that having a positive, warm regard for oneself is also about seeing one's strength, challenges, and successes, as well as the stumbling blocks that come along the way. Next is attaining good mental health according to World Health Organization or the WHO. First one is good physical health. WHO clearly noted that poor mental health plays a significant role in diminished immune functioning and the development of certain illnesses and eventually premature death. One's physical health is also an important factor to good mental health. Sleep and nutrition, for example, should be given importance and properly observed by an adolescent. There is a tendency that adolescents actually take this for granted. An individual who is deprived of sleep, for example, will be cranky, will have a short temper, will sometimes become emotionally sensitive, and will also have a bad memory. While physically, this individual who is deprived of sleep may develop skin rashes or acne. Some of them may also have dark circles around the eyes or what we call the eye bags. Some of them may also develop bad posture because of feeling weak or sluggish and having low energy. People around this person will take notice and might even get affected by certain behavior a sleep-deprived person exhibits. Second one is healthy self-concept plus healthy mind and body is equivalent to good mental health and well-being. Now guys, a healthy self-concept plus a healthy mind and body are once guaranteed to have a good mental health. When all of these elements are in balance, then general well-being is experienced. Now when we say well-being, it refers to a state of wellness where every aspect of a person is in balance. Being well and feeling well means that there is a general sense of contentment, happiness, calmness, and peace. Okay learners, we are now going to tackle the mental health problems in adolescents. So according to a research, conduct of behavior, substance abuse, anxiety, violent behavior is one of the most common mental health problem or mental health concerns experienced by an adolescent. Learners, conduct of behavior refers to having a bad temper or in short, yan yung mga tao na masyadong mabilis magalit. At dahil sa mabilis silang magalit, ang nangyayari is nagpapakita sila ng mga bad or wrong attitude. Or in short, hindi nila ginagawa ng maayos yung mga bagay-bagay or minsan nakakapag-express sila ng mga maling bagay or wrong attitude because of the certain situation that they are in. Next one is substance abuse or what we call the drugs, okay? This one is using drugs. Next one is anxiety. When we say anxiety, this means excessive worrying or being paranoid. Next one is violent behavior. So this one is very common especially to teenagers. For example, nagkaroon ka ng problema sa pamilya. So ang gagawin mo is mambubuli ka ng ibang tao or you're going to bully your classmates or even your friends. Next one is depression. This is the part where most of the teenagers develop suicidal tendencies. So, when we say depression, you are already having depressive moods in a circle of 6 months, okay? So, it is also said by WHO that they can improve their mental health by skills, problem-solving skills, and self-confidence. So, in short guys, when you experience these kinds of problems, this is not the end of the road. Kasi pwede ka pang magbago and you can do a lot of things or pwede mong ibuhos sa ibang bagay yung galit or yung problema na dinadala mo para hindi ka magkaroon ng mga mental health. We are now going to move forward with the risk factors. First one is genetic. When we say genetic, this refers to hereditary or heredity. Ito yung mga namamana natin sa parents natin or because of the genes that they have. It is said that mental health concerns or mental health problems can also be inherited by the children to their parents. Okay, second one is environmental. So, this environmental risk factors refers to those things na napagdadaanan natin as we move forward in life. So, in short, it is either we develop this along the way or we develop it on our own or because of some external factors that is happening in our environment. This could be because of the surroundings that we are currently in or because of the situations that we are actually having. Now, I am going to give you some mental health red flags. You can use this guys to assess or to judge what is happening to someone who is close to you. It's either your family members or your friends. So first one is sleep disorder. So some of the sleep disorders that we commonly have is insomnia. Insomnia is lack of sleep. The other one is hypersomnia or the oversleeping. This one, ito yung mga commonly na na-experience ng mga tao na merong mental health concern or merong mga mental health problems. Second one is low self-esteem, neglect, or loss of interest in favorite activities. This one is also common. So, you have to watch out for people around you. For example, guys, you have a friend who is very interested in watching anime. But then, something happened to her or to him, and then after that, nawala na yung interest niya sa panonood ng anime or sa paggawa ng mga hobbies na dati naman ay na-enjoy niya. What you have to do is to reach out to that friend and ask him if you could help him with anything. Okay, so next one is intense decline on school performance. When it comes to this naman guys, this refers to those people who are actually good at school or who are very active in schoolworks, and then something happened to them, and what they did is they are not going to study very hard as hard as they were doing it before. In short, mawawala na sila dyan sa top kung mga top students man sila, or they are not going to do the school activities unlike how they do it before. Or aside from this, yung mga students na nagkakaroon na ng super daming absences or sobrang dami ng tardiness. Okay? Next one is weight loss and loss of appetite. Now guys, dito na papasok yung eating disorder. So ang pinaka-common na eating disorder na nade-develop ng isang taong merong mental health problem is anorexia. Okay, so ano ba yung anorexia guys? Ito yung ito yung pagiging sobrang mapayat. Or in short, you are underweight. You are already malnourished. Okay, so bakit ba yun nangyayari sa mga taong merong mental health concern? Because they are cutting the food off because they lost their appetite, or maybe because it is their way of showing people na I don't have interest in anything, or that I am actually hurting or I am actually suffering right now. Okay? But we don't have to judge those people na bigla na lang pumayat. Okay guys? Kasi minsan, it is not because they intentionally did that. Minsan talagang bigla lang tong nangyayari sa atin, or hindi naman nating sinadyang gawin, pero talagang na-develop lang natin siya because of what is happening to us or because we are not emotionally stable. Next one is personality that shifts and changes. So guys, dito na papasok yung pagiging moody ng isang tao, di ba? For example, dati siyang masiyahing tao or dati siyang very jolly and very energetic friend. But then after a certain situation happened, nagbago yun, or naging masyado na siyang malungkutin, lagi na siyang loner, or hindi na siya nagpapatawa, hindi na siya sumasali sa mga kwentuhan nyo. You need to watch out for these people, okay? You need to reach out to them and help them if you can, okay? Pero guys, wag din natin pipilitin yung mga tao na mag-share sa atin kasi baka kailangan lang talaga nila ng personal space. So, I am going to give you this warning na ang depression or ang mental health problem, hindi yan nakikita sa pagiging masaya or pagiging malungkot ng isang tao. Hindi porket depressed ka is kailangan malungkot ka na kaagad. Minsan, ang mga depressed na tao, sila yung pinakamasasaya pa nating mga kaibigan, or sila yung mga kaibigan natin na sobrang galing mag-advise. So in short, you cannot see it physically or emotionally, but of course, you need to watch out if they are already showing these red flags, okay? If their depressive moods or depressive attitudes are not in this, it is really advisable to always reach out to your friends or be kind to everyone. Alright, learners, we are now going to move forward with maintaining mental health while coping with stress. First one, in order to maintain your mental health, you need to value yourself or know your self-worth or your personal value. Next one is to take care of your body. So sabi nga natin kanina that being physically healthy can also affect your mental health. Third one is surround yourself with good people kasi positive energy can give you good mental health or can cause you happiness in life. Next one is give yourself some time. So if you give yourself some time, you need quality time with yourself. This is what we call me time. Okay? Next one is learn how to deal with stress. So in short, syempre hindi naman lahat pwedeng sabihin sa'yo ng ibang tao, or hindi naman lahat ng perspective ng isang tao ay pwede niyang ipilit sa'yo. Syempre guys, dyan din papasok yung mga sarili nating coping mechanisms when it comes to stress. So in short, pwedeng meron kang sarili mong way in coping or dealing with stress. Next one is quiet your mind. Now, sabi nila, having a peaceful mind is very effective kasi mas maiisip natin kung ano yung mga appropriate things or appropriate behavior to do, especially when you are undergoing a problem. Next one is set realistic goals. So what we mean by this is that we have to develop a certain goal that is very possible. Okay? So in short, dapat ang goals natin sa buhay ay mga posible or yung pagsosolve natin ng problema ay posible or kaya nating gawin. Next one is break up the monotony. So what we mean by this is we need to break up that routine or that specific routine that you are actually doing right now. So in short, if your routine is not healthy, you need to develop another routine. Next one is avoid alcohol and other drugs. So some people, dito sila nagtuturn kapag masyado silang problemado. Diba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng stereotyping na kapag may problema ka, ang gagawin mo is iinom mo. O kaya pag nagkaroon ka ng problema is magyosi ka or mag-turn ka sa drugs. So it is actually not healthy because ang gagawin lang niya sa katawan mo is aabusuhin niya at magde-develop lang siya ng bagong problema. Hindi niya masusolusyonan yung problema at ang mangyayari lang is dadagdagan niya pa. Okay? Next one is get help when you need it. So guys, let us normalize consulting to psychiatrists, just like how we normalize consulting to our doctors, especially when it comes to physical health. Let us break the stigma, especially in our generation right now. Let us break the stigma na kapag nagpa-check up ka sa psychiatrist is automatically baliw ka na or masyado na siya agad big deal. So let us normalize that, guys, na kapag nagpa-check up yung isang tao or meron siyang problema right now, it is okay to consult to a psychiatrist. It doesn't make her or him crazy or it doesn't make him or her different. Okay, learners, we are now going to move forward with the causes of stress. So first one is physical stress. This refers to physical symptoms such as low energy, headaches, upset stomach, diarrhea, constipation, and nausea. Second one is mental stress. So, this involves the workloads that you have. Aside from that, for example, you are being stressed out because of the academic stress or because of the work stress. Next one is emotional stress. Dito na papasok yung pagiging emotionally unstable ng mga tao or yung pagkakaroon natin ng mga different or shifting moods. Next one is social stress. When we say social stress, dito na papasok yung environment na ginagalawan natin. Next one is psychological stress. This refers to those life problems such as divorce, death of a loved one, loss of job, getting married, or having a chronic illness or injury. Next one is economic stress. When we say economic stress, dito na papasok yung status mo sa ekonomiya or in short yan yung kung masyado ka ng mahirap or masyado kang mayaman. In short, dyan papasok yung mga budget and how we live in our daily life or yung gastos natin sa araw-araw. Next one is spiritual stress. So when we say spiritual stress, this refers to a crisis of values, meaning and having no purpose in life. So in short, wala kang nilulook forward to. Dito na pumapasok yung mga stress na for you is wala ka ng future or there is nothing to look forward. Alright, let's now move forward with the effects of stress. So first one is physical stress. So when you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones including adrenaline and cortisol. So when this happen, guys, ang mangyayari sa'yo is bibilis yung heartbeat mo or in short, mag-hyperventilate ka. Aside from that, your muscles will also tighten and of course, your blood pressure rises. And when this happens, your breath, it quickens and also your senses become sharper or in short, dito na yung tinatawag natin na adrenaline rush or kapag masyado ka namang nagwo-worry, ang tawag doon is hyperventilation or yung difficulty in breathing. Next one is mental stress. So stress, this may result to being unable to concentrate or make decisions. Aside from that, you are also irritable and angry most of the time. Ito yung mga tao na hindi mapalagay or yung mga talagang hindi sila matahimik kaya indecisive sila sa mga bagay-bagay or hindi sila makapag-concentrate sa bagay na ginagawa nila right now. Next one is emotional stress. Dito na ngayon papasok yung sadness or yung frustration. Aside from that, meron ding fear, excessive anger, or even worse like depression and anxiety. Dito na rin papasok guys yung mga mental illnesses since stress is very stressful talaga at talagang sobrang hirap nga namang maranasan. I know that right now, ang nasa isip nyo is, how do I cope up with stress? There are two types of coping with stress. First one is the emotion focused. So this refers to indirectly focuses on the source of the problem. So in short guys, pag sinabi nating emotion focus, ang ginagawa or ang ginagawang way dyan ng tao to cope with stress is nagfo-focus sila sa ibang bagay. For example, imbis na mag-focus sila sa something like solving the problem or doing something so the problem will subside or will lessen, ang gagawin nila dyan is magfo-focus sila sa ibang bagay or iti-turn nila sa ibang bagay gaya ng excessive na pagkain or kagaya ng ginagawa ng iba na naghahanap ng panibagong problema or nagbabaling nilang sa iba kagaya ng either gusto nilang maglaro or the gaming or pwede rin naman na yung iba nagtiturn sa drug abuse. So the next one or the second way of coping with stress is problem focus. So this one refers to directly focuses on the source of the problem. So in short, instead of doing something else, ang ginagawa ng mga tao to deal with stress or to cope with stress is they are trying to find some ways to solve the problem or in short, pwede rin na to lessen the problems. Aside from those, I am also going to give you some stress reduction methods. First, seek spiritual growth through prayer and meditation. In short, mas lumapit tayo sa mga simbahan or sa kung anumang religion na meron tayo. Second one, have a worthwhile hobby like cross-stitching, singing, dancing, drawing, or collecting items. Third one, watch a movie with friends. Fourth, have a nice, quiet walk with a member of your family. Fifth, if the stressor is one of your expectations, assess it and see if it is doable or realistic or not. Sixth, believe in yourself that you are strong and courageous. So guys, aside from this stress reduction methods, as an individual, meron tayong iba't ibang ways to cope up with stress. So wag lang tayong magdedepend sa kung anong sasabihin sa atin ng internet or sa kung anong sasabihin sa atin ng mga tao. Syempre, mas effective pa rin ang pagre-reduce ng stress kung saan tayo mas komportable or sa kung saan tayo mas tingin natin is makakalimutan natin pansamantala yung problema. Pero again, ipapaulala ko lang sa inyo na wag natin agad kakalimutan yung problema or wag lang natin basta kakalimutan yung problema. Ang dapat natin gawin is be brave enough at harapin natin yung problema and do something about it habang hindi pa siya malaki or para hindi na siya lumaki. That sums up for our lesson for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your teachers. Thank you and see you on our next video lesson. Bye!
Happy learning at home with lessons made easy by Olivarian GoTeach. One proud Olivarians.